And good evening, my friends. It's 10:50 p.m. 2024 on a Tuesday, March 15th. March 15th. 2 days before the full moon happens. So things are getting a little crazy as the full moon approaches, slowly but surely. And already from another YouTuber friend of mine, I noticed that things are going crazy already in other places and so forth. And I'm noticing people going kind of yelling in the streets and so forth as I was collecting cans early on. So the full moon is going to be a bad full moon. The police will be very, very busy, obviously. And my neighbor wants to chime in by yelling away like he always does. So anyways, I want to talk about the upcoming full moon and the fact that the police are very, very busy on a full moon. Talked to security, talked to a few people and firefighters and police as well, and they all do agree the full moon, for some reason or other, things are more escalating around the full moon time. Excuse me? Shut it! Anyways, as I was saying, the full moon, a lot of things escalate during the full moon. And on long weekends as well. This past Thanksgiving weekend was very, very, very busy for the police. As my constable acquaintances mentioned to me, they were very busy this past weekend and so forth. Long weekends get busy. The end of the month get very busy when it comes to crime and so forth. When people get their checks from ODSP for disability or OW, Ontario Works, people looking for a job and so forth. But the end of the month is when things really escalate a lot. And the full moon, and on long weekends, and on holidays as well. So when we start YouTubing, this guy starts yelling, trying to get attention. So just ignore that for now. So yeah, I want to get my ID in order. I do have money in the bank for my checks, but I can't get to it without my ID. Health card is not acceptable for that. I have my birth certificate, but I'm still waiting for my guarantor to give me information to get a temporary ID in order to obtain my money I cannot get to yet. So hopefully I can get in touch with my guarantor. An officer is one who's very busy, and a lawyer I used to work with a long time ago. One's retired, the other one's still actively working, so I might get in touch with him tomorrow. If I can't get home by phone, I'll just walk into the office. He'll know who I am and say, "What are you doing here?" But, he'd be friendly because they know me. I was kind of a go-to-it kind of person back then. I still am. So, yeah. The weather is turning cooler, so get those winter coats out. Get your scarves. Up that vitamin C, up the zinc, and so forth as the weather changes. And brace yourself for the 17th of October, where it's going to be a full moon, and the place will be very busy. So I'm going to have to get my guarantor information from my lawyer friend. One acquaintance, I used to work with him years ago. He knows who I am. The constable may be too busy to meet me, especially during the full moon. Maybe tomorrow I can get it. We shall see. But yeah, it's going very busy. They were busy the past weekend. A lot of things happening: violence, gunshots, stabbings, ODs, plenty of fires going on downtown. According to another YouTuber, drugs rampant, and so forth. So it's gonna be another hot spot. It's happening now. I see the escalation happening right now as we speak tonight. People getting violent and so forth. So yeah, it's starting to happen, and apparently werewolves are going to be howling. You know what I mean? But another thing is also I want to talk about besides escalation violence and drugs and so forth. I want to talk about escalation of predators out there. Now I mentioned predators before. Human trafficking rings are very, very rampant, victimizing people who are trying to struggle. And there are human trafficking rings also trying to set up people to fall into that and try to control them. Well, it's really happening, especially with indigenous people. It's happening to me again right now, very repeatedly. Two of the people in this building, as I mentioned before, one person who lives just maybe less than a block away, who sees a known prostitute and person in the drugs, and other drug dealers around this area, in and outside the building, who admitted that, as you guys saw. Um, Going back and forth doing drugs and then coming here trying to harass me for a freebie. No, 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 no. Getting messed up and try. That's considered rape, to be honest, my friend. That is not. That is sexual coercion. That is sexual harassment. And this guy had the nerve to knock on my door at 12:30 in the morning. No way. Also, I want to talk about the most recent ex, the guy with the white beard there you saw, who went with a neighbor down the hall, who is known for crack and prostitution, who we saw. Apparently, his border, he now tells me, after encountering him, he tells me that he thinks she really is a prostitute. And I'm beginning now to think that he is part of human trafficking or a predator or a pimp or something. Something's going on there. He saw me, and I usually go in this market area by the clock, and he was standing there watching it when I walked by, going to go there. We talked briefly, and then he grabbed my hand very forcibly, like very firmly, almost too firmly, like very possessively. I played along, but I did not like it when he tried to grab me by behind and everything in public and make sexual connotations toward me. That was very disrespectful and very, very sexual and coercive. And that's not right. Went to his place, watch a movie. He admitted to me that his live-in brother, they have sexual relations together. And then that one time I told you guys that she went out in the playground waiting for a guy to come to her to have sexual relations. He didn't show up. It seems to me he's pimping her out to me, in my opinion. And seems like part of a human trafficking thing or something. He was pressuring me to move in with him before. He knows the prostitute on getting prostitute down the hall, who seems to be more advanced than just that, unfortunately. Graduate from that to something more higher. It goes in the criminal world. Like any other job, you go from bottom to top. Criminal world, same thing. Bottom to top. From a normal worker to a supervisor or manager. In this case, from a prostitute to this, that, to a pimp, to part of human trafficking ring and drug trafficking. It makes sense. It makes moral sense in the criminal world. It's like a job in the criminal world, like a normal job. From the bottom, work my way up to the top slowly. So yeah, that's the thing. And it seems I'm very actively victimized and pressurized by these people. I'm being intimidated to click hands. I'm being sexually harassed and coerced. People making bets that they can have sex with me free to try to get me into the door of prostitution. No, 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 no. That's called a human trafficking ring, and that is totally illegal and uncalled for. And since these people all are associated with each other, connect the dots. You have to connect the dots. A, B, C, D, E, F. If you connect the dots to these people and the connection toward them, association between these people, you have to use your head. That is the thing about predatorization, human trafficking rings, for instance. There's one person in this floor, a few floors up, actually was saying, I bet you $50 you can lay her when she gets drunk. So apparently they're saying I'm a freebie kind of thing. Once I'm drunk, that gives me advantage for them, take advantage of me, which is damn well not right at all. It actually is very illegal and so forth to do that. But yeah, that's happening right now. Also, the person, the most recent ex, the guy with the beard you saw in the YouTube video there, who he admitted that, so forth and so forth, and the other one, so forth and so forth as well, with the same person. This person has a house with a known person who is a prostitute. Well, he's going to be in big trouble for human trafficking or pimping her out, housing a human trafficker. There was another boarder he had in his house as well, a younger guy with some tattoos and everything, all that. I never saw him, but he told me that he had allowed no dogs. He has 2 cats in his house. This punk left his place for 7 days, and he said he had to call animal control because his dog was in his room that he rented out for him with poo and urine all over the apartment in that room. I mean, come on. For one thing, if the guy was gone for 7 days and there was a dog in the room, will the dog not yelp and whimper and make a stinking noise? He can't tell me that he did not know there was a dog there. And that prostitute warder of his, the sexual, sounds like a prostitute to me. Sounds like human trafficking ring, some illegal activity going on there. Use your head. Victimizing me. I had to run out and sneak out of his place, when he went up to her place. Up to the room to see the other one. I had to sneak out of the house and take off where the kids are playing, the parents are playing. He would make a scene where the kids and parents playing in the playground. So I just snuck out and ran where they were. So anyways, yeah. But there's no way. How can he not notice? How can that prostitute not notice in his house that there is not a dog there in the room? Peeing and pooing, whimpering and whining. He did not know for 7 days. He said he had called animal control. He claims when the animal control came, the punk mysteriously showed up and took the dog away. That's more than coincidence to me. That's what he said. But yeah. If a dog was in the room and he did not know it for 7 days, that's a load of crap and a load of lies. That's neglect. He should be part of it. How can he not hear the dog's whimpers? How can he not hear the dog's barks and not see the poo and pee all over that room in 7 days? It doesn't make any sense. There's illegal stuff going on at that house, prostitution. This punk, I don't know what he was involved with, but took the dog away. What the F is going on in that house? It has to be checked into, not just for fucking human trafficking. He might have drugs stashed in there too as well, because he was seeing her, and they were seeing drugs here, and the drug dealer down the hall, the drug dealer 2 houses down. Maybe they're stashing his place the drugs, considering he has interactions with the prostitute drug trafficker here. So you just gotta connect the dots. Connect the dots. Look into this. And if that is true about the dog pissing and pooing all over the house in the room that he rented for the punk, in 7 days, how can no one hear the dog whimpering or whining? That makes no sense. Something's wrong with that picture. If animal control was called, they will have suspicions as well about that guy. Something very, very wrong going on in that house. And considering he has relations with people here, maybe they stashed drugs in his house too. So yeah, that's my bit of things I have to talk about tonight. And birds of a feather flock together, and you have to connect the dots. It's not easy. It's pretty easy to connect. Just connect the dots. And it's pretty easy. It's easy, in my opinion. It's pretty easy to figure out. And to me, it's like peanuts. I figured out like that. People say I'm crazy and stuff, but things I said before, it actually does come true later. For instance, my ex-boyfriend from a couple years ago, the guy with the balding hair I poured a drink on, who was seeing the same troublemaker who does drugs and prostitution down the hall. Well, I told him it's either him or me. If you keep seeing her, you're going to go back on drugs and crack, and it's going to ruin your life. Your life will be destroyed. Well, his life did get destroyed. He got in a fight with somebody in the building. He got evicted. He went down to the town to see his sister. He punched his own sister. She called cops on him. Well, buddy, you got 4 months in jail, and I told you you had a choice. Even when I mentioned her name when I talked to him, he smiled like he was still in love with her. But she is evil, and she brought you down. And I told him that. And he's still smiling about the thought of her. And she brings him down to the point in jail, and so forth. He lost everything. And I didn't want to tell him I told you so, but I told him so. And look where he is now. Karma bit him in the ass big time. And the police also were frustrated with me because I did not report him before for a rape and blood over the sheets years ago. So they got the evidence there and so forth. And believe me, they were frustrated with me, but I didn't charge him because he sucked up to me until after the year. Then he was being a jerk again. So it's kind of obvious that he was damn well covering up for what he did. But it doesn't matter either because karma kicked him in the ass. He got evicted from here because he saw her. He went down to the town to see his sister. He punched his own sister out. He got 4 months in jail. Not one lawyer represented him. Well, you got no sympathy. You have no pity for me, buddy, anymore. You had your chance to choose between the crackhead or have a good life with me. But you chose the bad way. And you got no one to blame but yourself, bro. And that is the thing. So, this full moon's going to be a bad full moon. The police will be very busy. They have been very busy this past weekend, as my constable acquaintance has told me. We'll have to get in touch with to fill in a form and so forth. But yeah, the police know about this troublemaker's place, and they know her place, and they know that's where all the trouble starts anyway, and they know that. So yeah, it's gonna be a busy time for the police and security and so forth this upcoming full moon, as it has been this past weekend, and so forth. Good to see you, my friend. So that's about it. I'll keep in touch with other things, and we'll see what's going to happen in the near future. All the chaos may begin downtown, here, and everywhere. So take care, stay safe, make witch, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Love you all. Take care.